Season 4 has just been revealed for Modern Warfare 3 and Warzone, and we're breaking it all down. Likely the first of 2 videos here on the channel today, so stick around. But in this one, we're detailing all the multiplayer, zombies, Warzone, and further content in Modern Warfare 3 Season 4. So drop your thoughts as we go along, drop a like if you enjoy, and make sure to subscribe for more coverage of Modern Warfare 3 Season 4, and in the immediate future, the launch of X-Defiant and further COD 2024 coverage. Would love to have you in the community, but for now, let's jump into it. So, firstly, it appears that Soap wasn't in that tunnel. While live seasons are easily able to be retconned, it is a bit odd that we see him as the main focus this season when we all know, without spoilers, what happened in the campaign. Odd, but here we are. But anyways, the theme of this season focuses around Task Force 141 and the operators finding a DNA bomb and pop-off power of Urzikstan, which then will cause further progression of the season to have a few interesting pieces, it looks like. But let's talk about the content offering. For multiplayer, maps, not as many as prior seasons here. We have 3 brand new ones and 1 reskinned coming, which is honestly on par for most seasons we've seen in recent years. So while it's definitely less than what Sledgehammer has delivered recently and might seem like a bummer as a result, that just kind of shows the strength of the first couple of seasons here within Modern Warfare 3 in my opinion. But anyways, we have the maps of Tokyo, Paris, not a remaster of Resistance, just set in the same iconic setting, Incline at midseason, and Das Gross at midseason, which is the Vortex version of Das House, which is a great name for that in my opinion. All 3 of these being medium-sized minus Das Gross, that of course being just that reskin of Das House. So these should offer a bit more variance in terms of gameplay. They're not going to be as grindy of maps as you might expect with things like the recent introductions in the last prior seasons. So this might offer a bit more for those that don't necessarily want to just go in and grind mindlessly. So looking forward to seeing how those work out. Weapons, we have the Supuri 46, which is a new SMG that's detailed as impactful at closer ranges and accurate to mid-range with an above average recoil control. The Kar 98K returns, that of course being the classic bolt action rifle. Stoked to see that one return, and I really do hope it has the one-shot potential in Warzone like the good old days, but we'll have to wait and see. The Reclaimer 18 is going to be at mid-season, likely that redacted sector update, which is the Spaz 12 returning, and the Sledgehammer at mid-season, I'd also imagine is one of the sub-sectors of that redacted sector, so like one of the ones you get immediately by completing one challenge, not the full complement of the challenges needed. But then we have new aftermarket parts for the M4, Basilisk, KV Inhibitor, FJX Horus, RGL 80, Kastov 762, Lockman Shroud, and the Renetti. Further continuing that expansion of your arsenal with Modern Warfare 2 weapons as well, so I'm a big fan of that. Operator-wise, for multiplayer, we end up having Soap as that main event, but also we have the operators of Hammer, Void, whose all biographical information is air quote redacted, but based off the models and prior leaks, that's Battery from Black Ops 3. So we'll see how that all works in and what that means. But we also have Dupe and Copy, which again has the air quote biographical information all redacted. Those Dupe and Copy though, being Black Cell operators, I'm interested to see if that's just something that ties into like the story of like copying the DNA, but we'll see. We have new perks and equipment here coming along with this, along with new kill streaks, which there's a large complement of these here. So fundamental gameplay changing things here that I think are pretty nice. We have the new perk vest of the Mission Control vest, which is essentially your classic hardline pro. You end up getting a tactical, lethal, field upgrade, gloves, and 2 gear items, and it reduces the kills required by 1 and score required by 125 for kill streaks. But you can end up earning 1 kill or 125 score for every 2 kill assists or crossfire assists as well. So again, coming back to that classic hardline pro extra benefit here from Modern Warfare 3. Now we'll also have the new perk of the Compression Plate, which will immediately regenerate your health after primary, secondary, or throwing knife or throwing star kills. Objective captures can also trigger that health regeneration. So again, essentially your quick fix, and we just recently saw that as a new vest, but this now being a gear format as well. So that's something that now offers the ability, if you want to play with a different vest, you can still get that as an individual and standalone perk. Now the kill streaks, we have 4 new ones coming. We have the Intelligent Munition Systems, or the IMS, that returning from a few different locations, Ghost being probably the most notable, but it'll cost 7 kills or 875 score, and it's loaded with smart explosives that shoot upwards and then explode when enemies are in the vicinity. We'll have the kill streak of the Loitering Munition, which is 8 kills or 1000 score, and it's an unmanned rocket drone loitering around targeted areas. Unlike the Mosquito drone or like the Swarm, it can be activated up to 3 times, so not as many as a Swarm, not as little as a Mosquito drone. Then you have the Missile drone, which is the 11 kill streak, and coming in at 1003 375 score, which is a small piloted drone controlled by the player and fires guided missiles. So the Reaper from Modern Warfare 3. Then the final kill streak added is the DNA bomb, which is a kill total of redacted, which is interesting because you have that MGB, which is a 30 consecutive gun streak, but this kind of sounds like it'll be something that might be lower, or it might be something that ends up having a score streak component to it, because it doesn't look to be replacing the MGB, nor will it actually end the game if you end up earning this. So my guess is maybe 25 kills and maybe a score streak variant as well. Maybe a 30 kill streak where your kill streaks can actually count towards that, like the classic nuke in Modern Warfare 2 back in 2009. Or maybe just the 25 kill streak, but not the full 30 to end the game. The game will still continue going. It'll just wipe out the entire enemy team in one go. So interested to see how all of this breaks down and plays in game. But then we also have throughout the season the modes to discuss. We'll have Demolition returning at launch, Hyper Cranked coming at launch, which for those of you guys that are familiar, this will be a fun little variant. But for those that are unaware, Cranked was something that you ended up having increased speed, mobility, and a timer until when you self-destructed after you got one kill. You had to chain together multiple kills to keep that timer going, but the difference with this and now Hyper Cranked is that you start with that countdown timer and the cranked effects, not just after getting kills. So you want to make sure you're ending up going into the gunfights as quick as possible, but that'll be something to play around with that I'm looking forward to. Havoc is coming at mid-season. That's returning from Modern Warfare 2 this past year, which has match modifiers making gameplay kind of crazy. We have a headshot-only mode coming in mid-season, which is that sort of classic Modern Warfare 2 2009 trolling mode in private matches, but now in an official playlist. And you'll have playlist modifiers across all game modes, which is pretty cool. The biggest one to me that I'm looking forward to is looping kill streaks. Now, it's not going to be in every single playlist, it seems like, but where applicable, it'll be something that streaks fully reset once you reach the upper end of your current streaks, allowing you to earn unlimited streaks in one life. That is huge. We've been asking for that since Modern Warfare 2019, and this is now the first time that we've seen that. I mean, Cold War had it to some degree, but you had a cooldown timer on it, which kind of neglected the entire purpose of having loopable streaks. So this is something I am incredibly excited here for. End up throwing up your UAV, counter UAV, and advanced UAV, and you might be good to go. This might make getting those nuke streaks a little bit easier here for you. But you also have increased XP yield for killing players with your kill streak, a kill streak cache, and a critical countdown event item, which is something that they detailed as redacted, but you can drop in to collect more things to progress the event quicker. That comes back to the event, which we'll touch on in just a little bit. But then additional game modes, we have the Vortex event returning at mid-season, Get High returns, and a new mutations mode coming for that countdown event. So that's your multiplayer, and big picture initially when looking at like the roadmap or just like the multiplayer offering in terms of maps, initially, honestly, I was a bit bummed, but having read through it all, having seen what all's coming more on a fundamental level and like on a gameplay experience level, I think this actually does have a lot of potential to be a cool season here with this. Zombies at mid-season, nothing at launch. Again, we're going to have the unstable rift, which is a rift that will pop up that you have to be the first to get to, but once you do, it's essentially a smaller variation of round-based zombies. Not quite the full round-based experience, but kind of what we had in Vanguard, where you had these sort of spurts of round-based zombies. That's kind of what this seems to be. So that'll be coming at mid-season, not at launch, but that is the only stuff that is detailed for zombies, which is, again, kind of crazy. I know that Treyarch and everybody's working on the next Black Ops introduction here with what hopefully should be a large zombies offering, but like, man, it keeps getting smaller and smaller. Anyways, Warzone, Urzikstan, Rebirth, Fortune's Keep, and Vondel all have no visible points of interest changes, but detailed are a few smaller things, some gameplay changes, and additional puzzles coming in this season. We'll have a bunker update where it said that there's increased activity across Urzikstan, focusing on those bunkers. You'll end up having secondary bunker exit hatches, so it's not just a one-way in and out that you can kind of trap enemies in there, but it also appears that not all bunkers are accessible at launch, but they state further investigation and great care is needed to solve this conundrum. So some sort of Easter egg is going to be associated with this, which I can get behind, but we'll see how it all plays out. The Urzikstan Gulag will have an update where we now have 4 different subtle variations of what we have already. So offering a couple of different unique elements to each of them. But again, grand scheme of things, it's not changed a whole ton per se. Modes will have buyback solos returning for Urzikstan at launch, which I'm a huge fan of. For those that missed this in the years prior with Warzone, you don't have a go log, but you end up having the ability to respawn if you have a set total of cash on your person. You start with that amount so you can respawn at least once, but after that, it's not guaranteed. You can spend that money however you'd like you could end up just jumping in and getting a utility item or buying a weapon or something, but if you cross below that respawn threshold, then you're essentially forfeiting your second chance until you reclaim that cash that's needed. Now, beyond that, other modes, it's detailed. Spec crew and core tac operators across multiple infill zones should expect additional redacted and a number of redacted modes as the season progresses. So that's something that I'm curious to see what else is going to happen, but we only have that detailed, which isn't a whole ton to go off of. We'll have new features, though, throughout Warzone, such as the Warzone rewards, which includes economics, contracts, social, modes, and champion quest rewards. There's nothing detailed in particular what these are, but they range from just, say, looting and spending cash at buy stations, unlocking items for completing different types and numbers of contracts, and among other things, but the image associated with it is a new camo that we have not seen before, so maybe each of these offers a new unique item, one of which maybe being a camo. For me, I'd love for all 5 of those to grant a camo just because I'm a big camo guy, but we'll have new ways to earn in Warzone with this season. Additionally, we'll end up seeing the specialist perk package come to Urzikstan. We'll have the tactical sprint boots, which is going to be available to be found within the bunkers, but it's going to give you unlimited increase to your tactical sprint speed and a reduction in fall damage. So definitely something worth going for. You'll have the Polaris Razor, which is a new vehicle partnership like the GMC Hummer. You'll have loot hot zones, which will mean that there's better loot in those certain areas designated. You'll have redacted weapons coming at mid-season and a runaway train at mid-season as well, where that final circle will sometimes focus on that train moving around. Kind of like that LTM we had back during the holidays in Season 1. Can't remember off the top of my head what that was called, but that kind of really all focused around the train at endgame, which was interesting. Anyways, ranked play. Once again, Rebirth is going to be the focus of ranked play with blueprints as your placement rewards this time, not camos. But with the confirmation of World Series of Warzone with another season going to Rebirth, it sure sounds like ranked on Urzikstan and Big Map is not going to happen this year. So we'll see if that happens in Season 5 or Season 6, but I mean, if it's going to reset and we're not going to see it after the introduction of Season 1 and the integration later on in the fall like we did this past year as well, that's a big missed opportunity, I think, for the ranked experience, but that's just me. Anyways, unifying and rounding out everything in terms of content with events, weekly challenges and stuff, and other camo talk, we learned about the new weekly challenge camo, which I think looks really cool. It's a DNA bomb theme here, black and green and animated, so that's going to be something you have to end up completing all of your weekly challenges to end up getting, and I'm here for that one. I kind of thought that this season's was hit or miss at best. I wasn't a huge fan of this. Season 2's I loved. Season 1, again, wasn't really too interested in. And the preseason I thought was pretty good as well. But this one looks awesome. Love that. We have a new weapon prestige camo coming at launch, which is really cool because we just saw the new one trick camo introduced with Season 3 Reloaded. So just a few weeks later, we now have another one at launch. And then, of course, we have one in Seasons 5 and 6. So that will be likely coming at launch of those as well. But for this one, it's going to require you to unlock one trick first. So that is something you have to complete the Season 3 Reloaded Mastery camo to end up getting that next step to unlocking it. But then you also have to earn 200,000 XP for that weapon to unlock the Season 4 Prestige camo. So a little bit longer of a grind than the Season 3 Reloaded one. So we'll see if that keeps going up to 250, 300 eventually, but for right now, that's what we have. But if you do all of that, it's going to unlock Obsidian from Modern Warfare 2019, but this time in an animated fashion. So I'm here for that one. I loved Obsidian. I know that was kind of like a hit or miss mastery camo for people. I really enjoyed it, so I'm gonna be grinding this one out. We'll have Pride Month daily login camos, so multiple camos across multiple different days. We'll have the events of the Critical Countdown event, which is going to last the entire first half of the season here, where you have to collect DNA samples from fallen foes to earn rewards and uncover the truth behind the recent DNA bomb discoveries. That seems to tie into something a little later, which we'll touch on in just a second. But we also have the Mobile Gundam Legends event, which is going to last from June 5th to June 19th, which is an XP-based event. And then we have two events listed as redacted. One specifically that says it's from the 19th to the 26th, but the other one, there's nothing here in regards to the information on when that is. And all information is air quote deemed most secret. So I'm really curious what that's going to be, because it could be something that plays into a COD 2024 reveal of some kind. I mean, the rumor is that we're going to have one here this week, but as a sort of just like name reveal or something like that. Something smaller, because we know that the Xbox Showcase and the Redacted Direct is going to be directly after that. But what's odd is both of those, or at least the one that's detailed in terms of when it is, that's after the redacted direct. So we don't quite know what that is going to entail, but that's going to be interesting. Also, just realizing I'm out of town for that one. Damn it. But anyways, that is Season 4 in a nutshell and what we have on deck. So that is what you can expect in the upcoming little over a week. But for what we have now from this upcoming Wednesday and beyond, because this was an earlier reveal than we're usually used to, we'll have to wait and see, but for right now, that is everything we know. Let me know your thoughts down below on what you guys think of Season 4 so far, what you guys are looking forward to. Whatever the case, drop your thoughts down below. But if you guys enjoyed the video, you found it at all insightful, do me a favor and drop a like on it. And if you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss a single thing regarding all things Modern Warfare 3 Season 4, COD 2024. And again, in the immediate future, X Defiance launching tomorrow, so we're going to have a lot of coverage for that as well. I'd love to have you in the community. But for now, thanks so much for watching. My name is Espresso. I'll see you later. Take care and peace.